take a look at this live video while I go over this. The Executive Committee has passed a motion to conduct a feasibility study into moving the Therme Spa from Ontario Place. This is, we're looking at live right now, to Exhibition Place. So the motion suggests that Exhibition Place grounds may be better suited for the spa for several reasons, such as proximity to transit, hotels, parking, and other existing infrastructure. So the motion specifically mentions the Better Living Center as a potential site for the spa.
Findings are expected to be presented in early December. The Ford government has been moving forward with plans to build the spa and water park at Ontario Place, despite a lot of opposition from politicians and community groups. Let's talk about that opposition now. For reaction, let's bring in Norm DePasquale, co-chair of Ontario Place for All. Norm, welcome to the studio. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
So first of all, what do you think of this idea?
Yeah, so I really appreciate Deputy Mayor Malik and Mayor Chow for being really creative at City Hall and coming up with like a nice alternative vision for where the mega spa could go. The minute you consider any alternative to Ontario Place, you are saving $500 million for taxpayers. The X already has 6,000 parking spots, so there'd be no need for this massively expensive underground and underwater parking lot at Ontario Place. So you're, between that and the site servicing $200 million that you're saving, you're easily saving $500 million for taxpayers with any alternative for the mega spa than Ontario Place.
Okay, and we've received a statement from Therme. I want to read that to you, okay, and get your response. So Therme Group Canada is responding to the city's decision to take another look at the spa's location. It says, quote, Therme was selected through a competitive international bidding process for the opportunity to participate in the provincial government's revitalization of Ontario Place by creating a destination attraction on the West Island. We will continue to work with all levels of government on delivering this project at Ontario Place. With that in mind, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, the first thing I would say is I would challenge whether it was a fair bidding process. There was no fairness monitor attached to this sort of, this kind of secret bid that the Ontario government had launched. We're not allowed to see any scoring for any of the other bidders. We don't even know who the other bidders were. But I think Therme should embrace this opportunity to save 1,500 trees, which will have to be cut down at Ontario Place for their giant glass mega spa. And Therme would likely save hundreds of millions of dollars because they don't need to raise West Island and do all this other infrastructure work at West Island, which would cost them hundreds of millions as well. So Therme saves hundreds of millions, taxpayers save $500 million. It's really hard to put into words how much of a win this is for all parties involved.
It does appear that there is work already underway at Ontario Place. It's not clear what kind of work. Drivers may have noticed it in the area. I want to get your thoughts on that, what you know about that. And with that in mind, is it too late then to reverse course?
It's definitely not too late. Really, all they've done right now is put up wooden fencing. And there's not much work happening behind that wooden fencing. I question whether or not that wooden fencing is to keep us out in case they decide to start cutting down trees, which they've said they're going to do imminently. So really all they've done is they've sort of fortified the construction area, but there's no shovels in the ground, as it were. So, this Ontario government has reversed course on the Greenbelt, on changes to municipal boundaries, and there is still plenty of time to reverse course here. The development application for the mega spa is also still at City Hall, and they haven't even voted on whether or not this development application for the mega spa should proceed. So for the provincial government to be moving forward with any sort of steps is absolutely premature, and there's plenty of time to reverse course.
And then along with that, there's also, more talk, or continued talk rather, about public space. What are your thoughts on that? And,
Yeah, so, moving the mega spa to any alternative site, like the contract right now, we're giving up Ontario Place for 95 years, West Island. So that means our children are losing access, our children's children are losing access. This is a generational thing like the 407, but in this case, we're giving away our jewel of waterfront land for 95 years, which is to me tantamount to a sale of our public land.
All right, we'll leave it there. Norm DePasquale, co-chair of Ontario Place for All. Thank you for your perspective on this. We so appreciate it.
Thank you.